Hi, welcome to your seventh, I believe, Java tutorial. Um, in my last tutorial, I promised that I would make a video about uh, keeping data in other class files so that you could access them. So, I guess this video is going to be about that. So we're going to start by making a new Java class, and we're going to call it person. Um, so the things that a person would have, we're going to go back to um, just talking about what people have. So, we're gonna make a private integer called age, and a private. Well, let's make this public. Int. Well, this is actually a string. Name, and let's say private int. Actually double height. So let's say this was a social networking website. We would make our name public so that people could find us, and then we would keep our age and our height private unless they were friends with us. So, um, if we set, well, let's get into objects again. So, if you remember in the last tutorial, I did the thing where I made math u equals new math open close, and that didn't really seem to make much sense because math's a pretty easy word to type. Um, so if we wanted to have a person named Mike, like me, equals new person, then you can have that, and you can have person James equals new person. And then you have two people, and you can reference them like Mike dot, well, you can't get age, but you can get name. You can just get name because we made name public. But if you try to get, so let's type system. Well, first we need to set Mike's name. So Mike dot name equals Michael, and then we can type system dot out dot println Mike dot name. And then if immediately above that we can type James dot name equals James. I'm doing this just to show you how this works. James dot name. So now what this is going to print out is going to print out Michael, and then it's going to print out James, as we can see down here. So in order to get the private variables and also set the private variables, we need to make public functions to handle that. So we're going to make a public int. Well, actually, these are going to be public void. They're not going to return. This one's not going to return anything. This one's going to set the age and set the height, and then the other one's going to get the age and get the height. So public void set age int x. Of course, it's a number. So we're going to do age equals x. And because we're inside of the function where the private data is, it's okay. Or not inside the function, inside the class. Because we're inside the class where this private data is right here, we can access it freely. It's localized to the class. And then we're also going to make a public void set height. Also it's a double actually. Double x. And then we're going to say height equals x. And that's fine. So then the next thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to need to be able to get the age and get the height. So we're going to do public static int equal, actually no, not static, I'm sorry. Public int get age with no parameters because there's no need for a parameter. It's going to make that, yeah, okay. So, so we're just going to return age. And then we're going to do public int get, this is a double actually. Public double get height. Again, no parameters. And then we're just going to return height. So essentially what we've done is we've made it easy to set up a person So you could have Michael dot or Mike dot name is Michael, and then you could have Mike dot set age. I'm 18 right now, and then you could have Mike dot set height. I guess I'm like 5.10, and then there's that. So then I guess we'll have James dot set age. James is 21. James dot set height. James is 5.8. He's taller, or 5.08. He's no 5.8. Let's give him a whole 5.8. So then we can change what it means to print somebody out. So we could say system.out.println, and we could say James.getName. Well, it's just James.name because I kept that public. And then we're going to say plus space plus, or I guess we could say James.name is, I guess we'll do age. James.getAge plus years old, and plus James.getHeight plus feet tall. So what that's going to say is it's going to say James is 21 years old and 5.8 feet tall. So we've come up with a way to set the person's name, and then set how old they are, and then set how tall they are, and then we have functions to get them out. This isn't particularly important, private and public variables right now, but later on it will become more apparent of why it's private and public. This is a silly example, but it makes a lot of sense for most people. And using I'm going to call them helper functions, like the getters, you can pull the data out of it very easily if you know the function name. So that's where I kind of wanted to leave off on this tutorial, and then the next tutorial I'm going to show you how to use functions to do what's called recursion, and it's an advanced topic of looping. So thank you for watching, and there will be another video soon.